Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode of The Science of Life. Today, we're going to be talking about a topic that affects many women, ovulation symptoms and how they fade away. As women, we all know how uncomfortable and sometimes painful ovulation can be. From cramps to bloating, it can be a real burden on our daily lives. But did you know that there are signs that indicate the end of ovulation and signal that it's time to say goodbye to these unpleasant symptoms? Let's dive in. First, let's talk about what happens during ovulation. Ovulation is the process by which a mature egg is released from the ovary and travels through the fallopian tube, where it may or may not be fertilized. This process typically occurs once a month, about 14 days before the start of a woman's menstrual cycle. Now, let's talk about the symptoms that accompany ovulation. For many women, cramping, bloating, and headaches are common during this time. These symptoms are caused by hormonal changes in the body as well as the physical changes that occur during ovulation. But, as much as these symptoms can be a burden, there is good news. There are signs that indicate the end of ovulation and signal that it's time to say goodbye to the discomfort. One of the most reliable signs of the end of ovulation is a drop in basal body temperature. During ovulation, a woman's body temperature rises by about 0.5 to 1 degree Celsius. This is because the hormone progesterone is produced in larger amounts during this time. But after ovulation, the levels of progesterone decrease, and as a result, a woman's body temperature drops back to its normal level. If you've been tracking your temperature, you should see a clear pattern that indicates when ovulation is over. Another sign of the end of ovulation is a decrease in cervical mucus. During ovulation, cervical mucus becomes clear and slippery, making it easier for sperm to reach the egg. But after ovulation, the amount of cervical mucus decreases, becoming thicker and more opaque. If you've been paying attention to your cervical mucus, this change should be noticeable. Lastly, many women report a decrease in ovulation symptoms, such as cramping and bloating, as a sign that ovulation is over. This is because the physical changes that occur during ovulation, such as the stretching of the ovary and the release of the egg, cause discomfort. But once the egg has been released and the ovary has returned to its normal size, these symptoms should fade away. Now, let me share a personal anecdote with you. I used to suffer from terrible cramps and bloating during ovulation. It was a real burden on my daily life and made me dread this time of the month. But, after learning about these signs that indicate the end of ovulation, I started paying attention to my body and noticed a clear pattern. Now, I know when to expect relief and can finally say goodbye to ovulation discomfort. In conclusion, ovulation symptoms can be a real burden for many women. But, by paying attention to the signs that indicate the end of ovulation, such as a drop